is trivial anyway, as long as we've got a dude on board. Commander Jan! Greetings, Commander! How are you this evening? You've missed all the fun with Elite. We were playing Elite with the Rift tonight. Okay. Jebediah Kerman. Let's get you to that space station. I should have waited for an adequate launch window. I think I'm going to... probably going to miss it by a long shot, but oh well. Tum-ti-tum-tum-tum. Unfortunately, I can't really speed this up. I'd like to make it quicker for you guys so you don't have to sit and watch a launch, because all launch profiles are practically the same. But as soon as I speed it up, the physics engine just kind of cocks up and starts going mad. Right, let's get ourselves up to altitude now and start tilting over. Get us about 45 degrees going east, so we're using the rotation of the planet to our advantage there. Of course you can set yourself up going west as well. You're going to need a little bit more thrust to do that, but well, quite a bit more actually. We are going to need to get this apoapsis so far out. But at least we've got a full tank of fuel on our bottom stage still. And on the next two stages as well, so I think we should have enough delta V remaining to get us out to this really, really high orbit. Set myself a interesting challenge here doing this, you know, because like I said, this orbit is very, very high. I think what I'll do is I'll get us up to the... We've already got a pretty good apoapsis there, so let's get this out. Probably means we're going to miss that window to catch up with the space station, but there we go. Never mind. Whoops. Apoapsis needs to go up a little bit more. Up to nearly 1 million. There we go. So, if nothing else, as long as we get this up on here, we'll do it. Ah, yes, Commanders. Hopefully next week will bring us Phase 2 of the Alpha, or whatever they're going to call it. Maybe 1.3. We don't know exactly what they're going to call it yet. But yes, the multiplayer Alpha, which I can't wait for. It's going to be so much fun. I'm hoping at that point, on the next live stream, I may be able to set up something with one Vega to do a side-by-side stream, so we'll both be trying to stream at the same time, and you can have 2 camera views of the action. But honestly, we don't know even if we're going to be able to meet each other in there, whether we're just going to be live matched with other people or a mixture of AI. We don't know what that's going to contain at the moment, so we'll see how we go. You've got a day off work just in time for the next phase of Alpha. Excellent. So we need a 2-minute burn for this window, so I'm going to have to start burning 1 minute 10 seconds before node, I think. I should have enough fuel. Oh, just overshot that a little bit there. We should be able to catch it. hopefully we've got enough fuel to do that. I should think we have enough fuel. Should be okay. Yeah, it would be. I'm hoping we can start to work on the. I doubt it very much. I don't think they would have enabled that part yet, but I'm hoping we would have some sort of view as how the grouping mechanic may work, so we can start to build up a short list of people we want to be grouped with online. It'll be interesting to see if we can actually play with that and see how that might work. So we can start finding our friends and banning people that we don't want to play with now. Commander Chandler, yeah. Difficult to watch two streams at the same time. Yeah, I don't know how exactly that's going to work, but we'll see whether we can get it set up. I think it'll be a good bit of fun though. Oh, Fiery Toad, yeah, good suggestion that use multi-Twitch to watch multiple streams. Don't cross the streams, man. Okay. Still got plenty of fuel left, more than half of our central fuel tank here on this orbit stage, so excellent. Plenty of Delta V left. There we go. Okay, let's get rid of that. So that brings our apoapsis up to 1006. Excellent. And then we need to set up a node to circularize our orbit. Whoops. I don't mind if we go slightly off center on this one, because to be fair, we do kind of want to encourage a little bit of variance in our orbit here, so that we have more opportunities to line up, I think. But we're straighten up first. We've got plenty of fuel. We're straighten up, get into a nice circular orbit, and then I'll look at trying to set up a rendezvous. Probably just make our orbit slightly higher so that we can catch up with the space station. Because I'm an idiot and I didn't wait for a launch window. Well, I was just couldn't be bothered. Sorry, can't pronounce your commander. Telumatar. Yeah, it's I'm gonna try and match my orbit altitude and velocity with the space station and catch up with it. You can do the math if you want to, but I just wing it. That's what this show's about. We just have a bit of fun. But there are a couple of tricks you can use to get yourself in the right place. Like I said, if I get myself up to a slightly higher altitude, I should be going at a slower velocity by being higher, and I've just missed my point of burn. Damn, wasn't paying attention. Yeah, I should, by getting myself to a higher altitude, I should be going at a slower orbital velocity, so the thing underneath me will catch up with me sooner, effectively. So that's the plan, anyway. So what I'll do is I'll set up on a slightly skew-if orbit, and then hopefully that will allow us to catch up with it sooner. What have we got for burn time? 24 seconds. Come on. Ya beauty. Right. Okay. Now I understand why your name is like that. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Right, slightly overburned there. Never mind. If anyone asks, I was supposed to do that. Okie dokie. So now we've got a couple of intersects. So this intersect here, we're going to be miles and miles away from it. But we're in a high enough orbit now, and this is the beauty of this. I can speed up quite a bit because of the high orbit that we're in. Let's stop that from spinning so you guys don't get sick watching it. So this is like totally the wrong way of doing it. I would get sacked from NASA for doing this, because this is effectively taking days and days and days, well, hours and hours of orbiting around, but we are getting gradually closer. Here we go. What's this looking like now? So position at intersect. Separation is 300 kilometers. Well, 334 kilometers. Give or take. I mean, it's only space. It's not like we need to be precise, is it? I think at this point, yeah, we're going to be about as close as we're going to get, and then we've got okie dokie. Let's set ourselves up a maneuver node here to get this a little bit closer. Whoops. That's a little bit further away. They should. If I get the damn things close enough, they will change colour. That's the hope, anyway. Oh dear. So fiddly. So fiddly. 29 kilometers. Oops, what's that? 4 kilometers. That's pretty close. I can deal with 4,000 meters. 4,000 meters I can kind of do by eye if I need to. So let's try and get this. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? Now the beauty of this is all in the nav ball at the bottom of the screen here. Is all these little markers mean something significant, and if you can master that, then all of these complicated math, you just ignore all of it and just completely follow that. Try and get yourself lined up so that you do the right thing on there. That's all you need to do. So we only need a 4-second burn to achieve this when we get to this point here. In 15 minutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Got a bad habit of just getting so bored of waiting that I speed right past these points. So tick, 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 tick. Let's just count down the last 20 seconds. I hope they have lots of food on board. Yeah, sorry, I just caught your question on there. Yes, fortunately they don't simulate food in this game, otherwise I would have starved many a Kerbal. Come out of there. Am I in the alpha? Yes, I am in the alpha. I've been streaming since day one, and I'm a prolific streamer now. As many in the elite community will probably tell you, they're sick of me now. Absolutely sick of me. And I am lucky enough to own an Oculus Rift, so I've been streaming the use of that as well, which is immense fun. And, if you ever get the chance to try one, my word, try one. They're awesome. Oh, sorry, you were talking to Texas Stew. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, there's a bit of a delay on the chat as well, so I apologise if I say something stupid. It does take a while for it to catch up. Rightio, we are coming up close. When we get close to this here, no point trying to set up a manoeuvre when we're 4 kilometers away, because to be honest, it's going to be more fiddly to try and do that than it would just to do it by eye. So let's get close enough to it. And 100 meters per second. We're under 100 meters per second. So what we're going to do now is I will set myself up into a position where we're going to reduce our speed towards the target. Now what that should do for us is it'll bring that point closer, I hope. If it takes us further away, I'm just going to have to quickly abort. Yeah, it's taking us further away. Okay, we're going to have to get closer to it first. When we get within that closest window, then we can start to neutralize our velocity with respect to this thing then. So effectively I'm traveling like 52 meters per second towards it or away from it. We don't know exactly which direction yet. But the key thing here is if we completely zero that, if we're travelling at the same speed as this thing, effectively we'll just be sliding alongside it for the rest of the orbit. Right, so in 10 seconds we're going to be about as close to this thing as we can get, and there it is over there. So now I need to neutralise my velocity, which is pretty easy with this engine. It's crazy powerful. Normally you just do this with reaction jets. Be more than enough to do it. Rightio. So that's close. 0.2. Yeah, we've got nearly 0 meters per second distance. So I'm only really moving 10 centimeters a second away from or towards this thing. So now we've done that, you can actually see it on here. So it gives me a good guess of where it's going to be. And I need to get this purple point here. And if I thrust towards this, let's get it up to about 25 meters per second maybe. And we're speed up time. Now you can see I'm moving towards it. I don't need to thrust anymore because thrust provides acceleration, not speed. So I've accelerated, and now I've got a certain amount of speed. I've got about let's get that up to 25 meters per second towards this thing. So I'm going to approach it gradually. You see I'm getting closer to it. Right, so now I'm going to have to spin around. Let's see, I'm 25 meters every second ticking off that clock now. So I have to neutralize that speed. We're getting closer to it, 300 meters away from us. Alright, let's neutralize the speed by pointing at the little green triangle vector. 0.3, 0.2, 0.1, right, 0. So now I'm exactly 224.4 meters away from the thing, and I'm not moving anywhere towards it, away from it, or anything. I'm effectively floating at the same speed and velocity, which is excellent. That means our orbits are pretty much aligned. The closest I'm going to get is in 16 minutes. I'm going to be 200 meters away from it, but we got plenty of fuel. We can speed that up by just going towards it slowly. So fingers crossed, if I get this right, this is probably going to be the first docking I've ever done live. It's not going to work. Right, let's get ourselves moving. I don't want to be moving any more than a couple of meters per second, really, because we're really close to this thing now. And what I'll do is I'll set myself up preemptively to thrust towards it to slow myself down. So let's get myself in that position. And we'll get within a few meters. Oh, you can see it there. It's getting bigger. You can definitely see this thing now. There it is, 40 meters away. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. Excellent. So we're turning on our RCS thrusters now, and I can use these to not only rotate me around, but they provide translational force, so I can kind of set myself up to, there we go, I can thrust away and slow myself right down. There we go. Cool. So there we go. 0 meters per second target. We're just 14 meters away, which is good enough. Good enough for me. It's good enough for you. Okay, so what I think I need to do If I pop this crew capsule off on here, this thing's effectively going to be dead in the water because I've got no remote control of this thing, but I can remotely control this thing. So I will pop the crew capsule off, and nothing I can really do with this. So let's get Jeb out, get his little jetpack on, and let's take him over to this one. Okay, just leave that capsule going. We don't need that anymore. Oh, you better put your headlights on, Jeb, because you're about to crash. There you go. Go grab out of it, right? You can stay there. Now this thing, I've just realised I don't have any thruster control. Ha ha! Damn you. I never put thrusters on it. But we've got a ridiculously powerful engine. So let's... Epic fail! Never mind. Right, let's set that as the target. And we'll control from here. So what this allows us to do is better align ourselves, so I can't rotate this thing. Now that I've done that, that was stupid. And I need to get this too, right, so that thing's pointing it roughly on the 45 degree 90, so I need to point this space station part on that way and there. That should be, yeah, that should be roughly right. So let's get it over there. Right, that should be fine. Set that as the target. 0.6 meters per second. Excellent. Commander Jan, you think they misjudged the length of Alpha? Yeah, it does seem like a very, very tight schedule, I must admit. I don't know whether they're going to be able to do it in time, but fingers crossed. They've been very good on their deadlines so far, which is more you can say for a lot of companies. Alright, so we need to try and get closer to this thing. 0.3 meters per second is all I want to do right now, because all I've got is this ridiculously powerful rocket engine. I'm going to set myself up by eye, I think, and get myself in a position. Unfortunately, I completely forgot to put reaction control thrusters on this space station design, so we're kind of boned. That makes life really, really difficult. Oh, you beauty! Docking successful. So this is only a temporary measure, really, because we need to get a couple of modules up in here where we can start moving things around. So the next craft I can do, I can make a little mini tug with a couple of little thrusters on. I can start moving the things around. So yes, that'd be great. Brilliant. So we got Jeb is on board. Got plenty of food and not food. That's what counts when you're in space. So now we've got the reaction control thrusters, but I just realised we don't actually have any fuel for those thrusters. Damn you. Never mind. That's okay. But I can show you what I showed you earlier on, actually, with the fuel tanks. We can well, there's not enough in there to do anything, but yeah, I can transfer fuel from A to B, and which is kind of pointless at the moment, but ultimately would be very useful later on when we can start to build up a rocket in orbit and make something more interesting. But now we can actually, if we wanted to, that module there is effectively junk now. We've got all of our fuel over in here, which is a bigger tank anyway, the same engine. So this rocket on this side is useless. Bye bye. Space junk. Excellent. So we can go to crew report. And we can send that back. Reporting in from space. And get our little antenna to go and send that back. Yes, Commander there. Well, thank you very much for the docking there. Thank you. Yes, I can't believe people actually managed to do this sort of thing for real life. It's unbelievable. So we're minus 1.9. Oh my god, minus 197 degrees here. Let's log the temperature. We can't log the temperature right now because we're in space. Doesn't make sense to log the temperature in space. We can get a crew report. Let's get an EVA report from this position. What do you think about this, Jeb? There is nothing useful to report. Well, there we go. Never mind. What about the mystery goo? Have we done the mystery goo from this position? Yep, we've done it before. No need to get anything. So I probably could get this thing into an orbit elsewhere. We've got plenty of fuel here, but alas, I think I need to design more modules and do something more with this now we've got here. Nice high orbit. At some point I will need to clean up that stuff I've got in orbit there. I'm thinking I should make some kind of dredger and space junkyard, yes, definitely. Right, let's go back to the Space Center. So we need some sort of module in the center which we can use to attach multiple elements to. I think that's the next thing we need. Let's design another. So the which one did we use? I think it was the Veggie 2. This was more than big enough to get something like that up in there. So I think we need something which you can use as a central module, which is going to allow us to have control. We've got the launch section, so we don't have that. So let's make a new one from scratch. So we need to make something which is going to allow us to have lots of docking ports on lots of sides, I think. And we want to be able to remotely control it. Okay, yep, no problem. Night night, Commander. Thank you for joining in. Plenty of RCS fuel. We need lots of RCS fuel. We need to be able to move this thing around. We want to be able to remotely control it. It would also be handy if it's symmetrical, so the weight distribution was correct on it as well. Plenty of little thrusters on here. Docking port, so we can start picking these things up, and actually we want to be able to attach with one of them, move it away, and then attach with another one, move it away, and something like that, and then this becomes a little mini tugboat, effectively, this little thing here. Probably going to need to put some solar panels on it, so that it can keep itself powered. Again, keep it symmetrical. Okay. So unfortunately we don't have the module I was hoping we'd have, so that I could kind of make a setpiece that we could bolt onto. That's a pain. At least with this little tug we can start to maneuver a little bit better. We can squeeze this in the middle. Might be handy if we get one of these up, actually. I might use this as an excuse to try and take both of these things up. Might as well. 2 flights for the price of 1. We take that up. We also need to plan some kind of escape module or something for the little Kerbals when they get there. At the moment, poor old Jeb is just kind of sat there, and I can't get him back. We'll need to make some sort of little escape craft or something that he can use to fly back down safely. So let's see, where did this attach to? Okay, so we've got a little module on there. We don't need the decoupler, we'll stick this to the top and we can just ditch this rocket when we're up there. Oh, we got some boosters as well, so I think that's all we need on there. But we're going to need to stick this in the middle somewhere, aren't we? So we're probably going to need all these things on here, and I wonder whether we can squeeze one on the back. Then maybe we can use this as the central piece. How badly does that affect our center of mass? Not much at this stage, but when we get to it, it's going to be... yeah, it does take it off center a little bit, but we'll put one on the side. Let's put one on each side. We should still be able to open it. Keeps us symmetrical, and it allows us to... whoops, I've lost the section now. Oh, I'll put that back on in a sec. Kind of get away, we can use this... get two uses out of this thing. We use the little Science Junior module as a central section so that we can reuse it. So Veggie 2.5. I'm really bad with names. Good point there, Texas Stew. Yeah. Once we get into beta, we can stay in beta as long as we want to stay in beta. That's fine. Right, so this is our target. That's where we want to get to. This is where we are. So we're going to need to get up and around. We're going to have to wait a little while, I think. Right, so hopefully this will get us into a better position from the get-go. So, what have I done? Oh no! I have to revert that flight. Okay, we're just going to have to launch and hope for the best because we've got a tiny little remote control module on here with no power. So I can't wait until morning. Well, I can't wait until the good launch window. I'd have to wait all the way until morning, which would mean the poor little remote module would completely run out of power in the meantime. I never fixed the staging on here, did I? Whoops. Yeah, these couplings are going to overheat and explode. Whoops. Yeah, let's go fix the staging. This is the problem I found with some sub-assemblies. When you make these like pre-built components and you put them in, they don't always fire consistently. All the stages get screwed up quite frequently. So we want the solid boosters first, down in the bottom right here. And then we want all 6 of these to fire in one single stage. To get rid of those. Then we need these 6 and 7 engines here, yeah. And then all the stages should go together. There we go. Commander Jan there, good question. What is the largest part I've managed to put into orbit? I'll see if I can quickly show you. If I go to the map, it took a bit of doing. No, I don't want that as a target. I want that as the target. I want to have a quick look at this one. That's the Kerrash space station. There we go. So I managed to get one of these new modules up. Wow. Ignore the fuel tank on the right-hand side of the screen here. But I managed to get one of these sections up here, which is probably the largest thing you can get in the game at the moment. It's like 2 of these fuel tanks put together. It's huge, this thing. Really, really heavy. Takes a heck of a lot of work to get up in here, but it's great. It's a mobile lab, so it allows you to reset your experiments and get more data for things. So it's a good thing to have if you can get into space, but ultimately it's very, very difficult because of the weight of the damn thing. So let's go back to the Virgie 2.5. Alright, we better launch this thing because we are running out of battery charge. I apologise profusely if I don't see your chat message or I take a while to answer it. On top of the delay, we've also got the page. It keeps telling me it's crashing when it's obviously not, because I'm seeing it move. I think it's a glitch. It's a problem with Chrome. And stage, there we go. Boom! Alright, get rid of that stage. Okie dokie. We need to get some significant altitude on this. Oh, we should start banking over now. I missed the point. Missed the point of that, but doesn't matter. Get rid of those. Come on. Another question off Commander Jan there. Can you assemble a space station with lots of parts, multiple launches? Yes, you can. You can put together some really complicated things. In fact, I've seen some fantastic videos where people have put very, very complicated missions together in lots of different parts. The docking ports are a fantastic addition to the game because you can just keep extending what your design does, and you can have some great fun setting up some really, really crazy missions to do things like that. In fact, I've always wanted to make a really, really big space station, and as I start to unlock more parts in this, I can make some really cool designs. So. Right, let's just shut off our engines. We've got plenty of time to get to apoapsis, so let's see how long it would take to get up to. That's a little bit high. Just bring you in. 101,086. 68. Okie dokie, let's get ourselves set up for this maneuver. A 1 minute burn, oh my word. That's gonna take some sort of time. 1 minute burn, so I think we should start burning about 40 seconds beforehand. And 3, 2, 1, burn. heck of a lot of delta V we need to get there. We need to get an extra kilometer a second in this direction to get up to that speed, but there we go. We will get there. We have the technology. Ba, ba, ba. We need a hyperdrive here, I think. Come on. Come on, 6 seconds. 10 seconds, come on. Nearly out of fuel on this stage now. We've got the upper stage still. Oh, there we go. Huh. Still plenty of fuel left on here to arrange a rendezvous, so that's not a bad thing. Chase that marker. There we go. Awesome. Did I put plenty of... Yep, we've got plenty of solar panels on here. Excellent. Right, just get rid of that node. So we're in plenty of position. Oh, we actually get a pretty good maneuver there. The problem with that, though, is because we're going to be on such an eccentric orbit, I'm probably going to be shooting past that at a ridiculous speed. So although that's a good intersect, we're really going to need to circularize the orbit first. The problem is if we're not on very similar orbits, we're going to be travelling at some ridiculous speeds. You know, as I come up to approach that thing, this thing's going to be going straight past me, and I'm not going to catch up with the damn thing. So I really need to get myself into roughly the same orbit, and then we'll look at trimming the orbits to match up with each other. It's the only way to really do that. So we need 300 meters per second there. That's not too bad. We've got plenty of fuel, so I think this is going to work. We are running out of battery power though, so we might need to fire up the engines briefly to do this. Question is, are we going to be... Yeah, we should be on the light side of the planet by the time we come out. So hopefully the solar panels will start to charge the little battery a little bit more then. Because at the moment this poor thing's about to die a death. I got 4.0 there, 4 out of 10 battery life. But we're just coming up to the horizon, so hopefully we're getting to some sunlight. There we go, fully charged again. Whew. Always a killer on this, as I always forget to add enough batteries to survive a trip around the dark side of the planet. Okay, let's get ourselves in position. 42 seconds, so 21 seconds before the node, I'll start the burn. Okay, and 3, 2, 1, mark. I'm not sure if the chat has died entirely, so I do apologize if I'm not picking up on your questions at the moment. It's constantly nagging me that it's died, even though I can see things changing, so never mind. Okie dokie. We're getting close, getting close. Getting close. I saw something flick up on the chat then, so thank you for the thing. Yep. And that gives you an idea of the delay, so you can see when you type that and how long that took for me to answer your chat message. The delay is a little bit of a pain, I must admit. So we want to set our target there. Let's see, we've got plenty of fuel, so I think let me get out to periapsis. Let's bring our apoapse up a little bit, and then hopefully we can arrange a target intercept. You don't want to do it too much, though, is the trouble. Yeah, that is a real pain. No easy way of doing that. I think we're just going to have to wait until we're in a good position now. Yeah, see, our orbits are so closely matched that it's going to take a heck of a long time, so I will save you the hassle of that. Let's get ourselves on the apoapse. We'll raise the periapse by about 500 kilometers. And then we'll do a secondary maneuver there. To recircularize our orbit. So we'll still be in a circular orbit, but effectively we'll be 500 kilometers above the target. So that'll mean that the target will be underneath us, moving at a higher velocity. In order to stay in that lower orbit, we'll be going slowly, so the thing will eventually catch up with us, and then we can kind of burn down in theory. Never done it before. Not a clue. But hey, we will try. That sun setting in there, so 1 hour 45 minutes until our first maneuver. There we go. Let's do our first burn. That should bring us up high on the one side. There we go. That's our first maneuver down. And now we need to... come on, turn, you lumbering great hulk of a spacecraft, come on. Takes a bit of a while to spin this thing. It's only got that tiny little module at the top trying to do all the work, so can't blame it. It's doing its best. Unfortunately, it only takes an hour of time to orbit the planet. Not like it would do around Earth, which would take a bit longer. Okie dokie, right. So in an hour and 9 minutes, we'll be set up for our next thing. Fortunately for your viewing pleasure, I can accelerate the time. Here goes. 3, 2, 1, mark. Excellent, right. So, there we go. That sets us up in a much higher orbit. We've still got plenty of fuel left, so that's great. Now, we're not going to have... I'm going to have to wait until we get into a position where... now what I'll do is I'll speed up time a little bit. Now you can see this thing underneath us is going to be moving at a much higher velocity than that. So you see it's catching up with us quite quickly. We're at a very, very high orbit. So now, hopefully, here's the ascending node. I'm hoping I can bring this down in. And no, I might have left it a little bit too long. 700 kilometers at that point. Whoops. What's that one? Still 700 kilometers. Damn. I think I might have left it a little bit too long. Let's try it later on in the orbit. Maybe we can catch up with it. Whoop. No, I might have to wait for another spin, for another transfer window. Wait for it to catch up with us again. Whoops. Speed up time. Right, so let's bring this in now. Whoa, there we go. Let's get, oh, there. Did you see that went pink there? There. No, come out. There we go. Oh, so close. These maneuver nodes are really, really tricky to get just right. There we go. Oh, it's even further away. You son of a bitch. Oops, damn it. Okay. Oh, I can't believe I did that. That was right on the money, and I dragged it away. Oh, there we go. Right, now let's have a look at this. What are we looking at now? 132 kilometers. Oh, that looks a little bit closer. 42 kilometers. 31 kilometers. 29 kilometers. 14 kilometers. That's about as close as I think we're going to get it. So this will sweep us into the lower orbit, hopefully, if I've done this right. We've got plenty of thrust on here, so we should be able to slow ourselves down. Fingers crossed. We're going to come in low and fast on this thing. Kind of approaching from above and catching up with it. But, right, so we only need to burn for 11 seconds to get us into this lower orbit churn. Go. Right. Okie dokie, let's see where that got us. So we should get to 14 kilometers off that. That's pretty close. That's good enough for me. And we're going to get there in 1 hour 16. Don't want to be doing that. I'm hoping should be below us. Nope, cannot see it yet. It's too far away. Oh no. It's there it is. We can see you. Right. So we're moving 114 meters per second. With respect to this target, so we need to neutralize that. Where is it? Slow slow ourselves down first and then set ourselves up for a catch-up burn. I don't know what the official term is, but that sounds good. Alright, so slow ourselves right down so this thing is not a moving target. Oh, come on. Oh, so heavy, so heavy. I could probably turn on the reaction control. I've got plenty of monoprop. I could turn on the little reaction thrusters. It would help a heck of a lot. Petrisk there, yeah, good point. Watching something like this, which is really, really simple in comparison, it really does put into perspective the effort that the Apollo guys must have went through. Jeez, my hat goes off to them. There we go. So let's set ourselves up to get closer to this thing. Come on, scooch our orbit down. Just gently get closer. So you see this thing is going a little bit this way. Because it's effectively still moving at a rate faster to us. It's a lower orbit, so it's spinning in closer to the planet. So we need to keep neutralizing our velocity with respect to it. Otherwise it's going to scooch straight past us. Takes a lot of jiggery pokery, maneuvering, tweaking, all that sort of stuff to get it just right. There we go. So don't want to use up too much of this monoprop, but it's definitely a lot easier with it on to rotate this thing. So try and keep it to a minimum if we can. Yeah, Apollo 13 was an absolute hair raiser, very near total tragedy, but they managed to turn it into a complete success story, considering what happened to him. Okie dokie. We're getting closer to that space station. Come on. The sheer concentration. See, 3 meters per second doesn't sound like much, but my word, it is. In space, it's a lot. There we go. Right, come on, you beauty. Whoops, whoops. It's kind of a balancing act. See, the problem with the reaction thrusters is, as handy as they are, it's all too easy to get yourself spinning in wobbly of control, and it just... You've got to be really careful with them. You notice when I've got them on, the little negative velocity vector kind of oscillates wildly all over the place, because effectively I've got off-center thrusts kind of moving me around, so not only is it rotating me, it's kind of like giving me velocity in orientations I don't really want. So you've got to kind of really, really balance it to get it right. It's pain, real pain. So ideally I want to get that little green marker matched up with a little pink marker there, so then I'll effectively be moving towards it. So I think 0.2 meters per second at this range, that's pretty good. Okie dokie. We got so much fuel here, I don't want to discard it. Come on. Creeping ever closer. So I want to try and completely neutralize my velocity if I can, because if I leave this thing floating with any sort of speed, I'm going to lose this tank of fuel, which seems like an utter waste. So what I'll do is I will try, it's a bit risky, I'm going to try and take my little, this is my little tug effectively. It's completely on RCS fuel, so the only way I could move it about is to, yeah, it still opens, cool. Okie dokie, so I should be able to get this thing closer to the target. Like I said, the plan is if I get those two little cursors lined up, then effectively it should be... should stop moving. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. 0 meters per second. Now obviously I am moving slightly, but slightly than better is better than a lot. Okay. Let's see if we can squeeze our little tugboat in the middle here. Got not as much fuel left as I would have hoped, but hey. Okie dokie, let's take it forward. Come on, squeeze this in the middle section. It's gonna be a tight fit. Oh, I'm gonna have to catch up with that other bit first, because this bit is completely unmanned, isn't it? Come on. Oh, come back. No, I'm rotating the damn thing is the problem. Right, snap. There we go. Right, you snap into place. Now stop. 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 Come back. no, come back towards the other space station. Come on. Stop. Rotate. 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 There we go. So many keys. So many keys. Oh, bit of a bump. Sorry. Sorry. Wait. Snap into place. Yes! Yes! Gotcha! Excellent. So we got our central module all set up now. That is my target. Go on, set his target. We want to try and slow ourselves down and catch up with that. If we can, that would be an absolute beauty if we can do that right. Right, turn our RCS on. Where is it? No, don't go too far away. Come on. If we can catch this as well, we can reuse that. Yes! Thank you! Excellent! I don't like wasting anything. If we can catch up with that rocket and reuse it, all the better. Got a bit of fuel left on there, so it just makes sense, doesn't it? What have we got? Not much left in the way of propellant now, but whoa, bit wobbly, but hey, this thing's not built for maneuverability. Whoa, thrusting the wrong way. I think, hang on, that seems to be going faster. Yes, it's going faster. Oh, shoot. Right. Right, this is going to be tricky to align this thing now, but we will have a go nonetheless. Yep, we want to go that way. Come on. Let's control from here. Set that as the target. Whoops, set as the target. Oh, no. Yep. Slow down, right? Ebb closer. Just slightly closer. Come on. We're rapidly running out of fuel here is the problem. Whoops. I don't want to waste too much on maneuvers I don't need to do. Try and get this lined up. Oh, snap! Go on! Yes! Recovered. Excellent. We have our ridiculously shaped space station. Do we care? No, we care not. Excellent. Plenty of fuel on there. Quite a bit of monoprop left. That's not bad. We got quite a bit of monoprop considering. And we've got our science base. We can start to get ourselves some science. Excellent. So we'll keep all of this fuel as well, which would be really good fun. So if we keep that in there, then when we get the little rescue module up on there, we can come and get Jebediah back down onto Kerbal. Excellent. But I think for now we should call that a day, don't you? We've been streaming for so long. How long have we been streaming? 4 hours. That's an epic stream. I hope that makes up for the lack of streaming yesterday. So as always, I say thank you very much to everyone who tuned in tonight. Hopefully next stream will be a lot more interesting for you guys. I'm hoping that we will have the next phase of the Elite Dangerous Alpha, of course. Yay! I can't wait for that. That's going to be great fun. And the multiplayer support is going to be epic, epic. So, yes. Can't wait. So, there we go. I shall stop waffling on. I shall let all you guys get on. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week. Commander Kerrash out.